coaches inside team headquarters. However, he doesn't wear a mask while in the media auditorium during his weekly and post-game press conferences. Our Chris Canty.
For Aaron Rodgers to knowingly fly in the face of all of those different protocols and kind of do what he wants to do when it comes to a virus that's claimed over 700,000 American lives, that part about it is unacceptable to me, and Roger Goodell and the Green Bay Packers organization have to step in and do something about it.
Chris Canty of Canty and Golick Jr. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray says he believes he should be ready to play Sunday against the 49ers despite dealing with an ankle issue. NHL Penguins captain Sidney Crosby tested positive for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep, hump day.
Hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Michael Thomas out for the year.
Hump day.
Will he ever play for the Saints again?
It's hump day.
We asked that question yesterday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Didn't think we'd have to waste the thumbnail so quickly.
Hump day.
Russ Mitchell.
It's hump day.
Not here today.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Is that not just par for this awful season's course?
Hump day.
Bama week.
It's hump day.
LSU's a 4-touchdown dog.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We got no Mike Detillier.
Hump day.
And now on Bama week, no Russ Mitchell.
It's hump day.
I tell you what.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Just kick me in the nuts.
Hump day.
Jameis torn ACL.
It's hump day.
Mike Thomas done for the year.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saints have maybe the best defense they've ever had.
Hump day.
And they're probably going to be a wild card that gets bounced in round one because they're not going to be able to complete a forward pass.
It's hump day.
And LSU is going to get the crap kicked out of them on Saturday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah, but we'll do overrated, underrated.
Hump day.
And Paulie's Braves are world champs.
It's hump day.
Paul O'Neill pulled an all-nighter.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He was up celebrating to the wee hours.
Hump day.
Well, it's really just because he was feeding his baby in the middle of the night.
It's hump day.
But I bet she was fired up too.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Little Opal O'Neill.
Hump day.
All right, let's get to it, everybody. Let's have a good day. A lot we are going to get to here over the next 3 hours. Glad you're hanging out. So the big news, just days after we learned that Jameis Winston is done for the year with a torn ACL, we also learn that Michael Thomas is done for the year. Thomas posted on his social media earlier today that he had a setback due to the ankle injury that he had suffered and had surgery on this offseason, and he is going to miss the entirety of the season. I'll read very briefly the statement that Michael Thomas posted on social media. He wrote, "I've always been a man of faith. In these past few months, my faith has truly been tested. As many of you know, early last season, I injured my ankle, worked extremely hard over the next few months to get back in time to finish the season. Unfortunately, the rehab didn't go as planned, and earlier this offseason, it was apparent I would need to have a procedure to repair the injury. Since then, the team and I have worked diligently day and night to rehab and get me back on the field. Unfortunately, there's been another small setback, which we'll have to address. To my displeasure, I will not be able to make it back in time for this season, but will do everything in my power to get back to the player I have always been. I know God doesn't make mistakes, so I'll continue following his path. Can't wait to be back on the field in front of the best fans on the planet. A little hat tip to the fans there at the end, hoping maybe that they might take it easy on them on social media. Just disappointing and no other way to say it. Sean Payton, when he met with the media on Wednesday via conference call, discussed this setback that Michael Thomas has incurred.
I think it's accurate to say that there was a setback, and it wasn't anything of his. He's working his tail off, and the setback had more to do with the procedure he had initially that was just done. And as they went through the scans, there's a chance that he may have to have another procedure done. And so I can't call in and have Dr. Anderson get on the call with us and explain to you, but Michael is working his tail off to get healthy and become available. And I think that this isn't anything he can control. And so this has more to do with the tightrope procedure. And what that is a procedure that strengthens the ankle after, you've had a significant injury to that area. So the setback is really surgically related, and we'll kind of go from there.
So Sean Payton pretty firmly in Thomas's corner there, sort of a contrast to the way how miffed Sean Payton was in the preseason when we learned that Michael Thomas was going to have that procedure. Remember just the difference in the tone. This was a very supportive tone. Michael Thomas has worked his tail off. He's done everything he can to get back. This was nothing to do with him or the things that he's done. It's just very unfortunate that it's happened this way. And I've said since the summer, I'll make my judgments on this team when they're whole. And the reality is they're whole now. This is what they are. Because now they've lost Jameis Winston, and they're not going to get Michael Thomas back. So what you see right now, post-trade deadline, these are the New Orleans Saints. Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill at quarterback, a wide receiver room that is sans its best player, a defense that is maybe the best in the NFL right now. You know what this feels like? It feels like the Denver teams that Trevor Siemian played for. The teams that were so dominant defensively that just had no semblance of an offense to get rolling, to complement that defense, and teams that finished around 500. That's what this feels like. The Denver teams post Peyton Manning. Saints right now are 31st in passing offense, and I don't know how they improve. The trade deadline is come and gone. You didn't make a move for a big play wide receiver, and Sean Payton was even asked, given this news about Michael Thomas, did you approach the trade deadline differently?
No. When the trade deadline comes, we'll take a peek at what we think are players that may be available via trade. Like, we look at them. And maybe at some positions we won't look. But if you feel like you have a good team, you're paying attention to really all positions just based on who might be trading players. And so we've looked at receivers in the trade deadline. We've looked at quarterbacks. We've looked at defensive tackles. We've looked at a number of players just because there's a feeling that this team might be willing to move this player, tight end, receiver, safety. And so, you approach that a little if you have an interest like free agency. That's as far as that went. Like there was never any, we got down to the wire and just couldn't agree to a price. Nothing relative to any position.
So the trade deadline came and went. There was a report that the Saints made inquiries to Cleveland about Odell Beckham. Realistically, when you look at where the Saints are, though, without Michael Thomas, the trade deadline has passed. You can't trade for an elite wide receiver at this point. And the salary cap really is going to preclude you from doing so anyway. And then you just sort of look at who's available, and maybe Deshaun Jackson would be the best option. The Rams waived him yesterday, so as an unrestricted free agent, he can sign wherever he wants to. Maybe that's an option for New Orleans if you're looking for a legit number one potential game-breaking receiver. But that certainly feels like a Band-Aid on a broken leg at this point. The bigger question I think a lot of people are going to ask is, has Michael Thomas played his final game for the New Orleans Saints. And it's interesting that I did ask that question yesterday to Larry Holder when he was on the show with us. And Larry's feeling was that he felt that Michael Thomas had played his last game for New Orleans this year, but not, looking ahead. I'll remind you, Michael Thomas signed a 5-year, $96 million contract before the 2020 season. So he had the amazing 2019, the record-setting 2019 season. He signs the big contract extension, and last year was unfortunate. Suffered the injury in week 1, battled all season to get back, and was just never really whole before he had to shut it down. We know what's happened this offseason. Now he's not going to play at all here in 2021, although still counting $10 million against the salary cap. But when you look at Michael Thomas's contract, there is a potential out after this year. And, if Michael Thomas is on the roster next year, his cap hit is $24 million. The dead cap hit is 22.7. So it's not beneficial. But if you look at the specifics, if they trade or release him before June 1st, they would save in the neighborhood of $21 to $22 million there. So that would be maybe an off-season possibility. But I will maintain that you're still better off having one of the best receivers in the NFL on your roster, as opposed to having to go to battle with what the Saints have right now. Now, Sean Payton also agreed his current wide receiver room, and I don't know what else you'd expect him to say other than lend them his support.
I think good. I think, listen, I thought they had a good game last week. We've got some younger guys. I think the addition of Kenny Stills has helped us. I think Deontay being back has helped us. I think Kevin White is continuing to get better. I think Jordan Humphrey's experience and size and strength, Marquez, Traquan's back. I mean, look, these guys are tough. They're competitive, and I like them. I mean, I'm not interested in your PFF grades or any of that other stuff. It just is what it is. I like this group. Obviously, you're better if you have Mike Thomas in that group, but we don't right now, and we don't have Jameis at the quarterback position, and we don't have a few other things, and that's just how our league can be sometimes. So we're getting ready for this week.
As we've said, the Saints now are whole. I've been waiting for them to be whole all season to make a judgment on them. They are now whole, and these Saints, with Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill at quarterback, with no Michael Thomas, with an elite defense, they're whole right now. This is what they are. This is what they're going to be. And it's a team that's, a fringe playoff team. Might be lucky to be a wild card team that'll probably bow out in the first round. That's unfortunate. And you hope that they can make the necessary improvements for 2022 with this defense still playing at an elite level to allow them to still be competitive at an elite level. Okay. There was also the Odell Beckham conversation. And I want to address that when we come back next, because there's at least an outside chance. I know what I just said, that they're whole now, but there's at least one glimmer of an outside chance that the Saints could add Odell Beckham. And we'll delve into that when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. Give them a buzz, y'all. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana every day. And keep in mind this analogy that I've given you for a lot of years. Your current insurance agent, you may love them. Maybe they're great people. But if they're with State Farm, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, whatever company they're with, they can only get you rates from that company. So they're hamstrung. When you call Insurance Network of Louisiana, that's like hiring an agent that can negotiate the best deal with every team in the league, as opposed to an agent that can only get you a deal from one team. Who's going to get you the best deal? The one that can shop and get the best deal from any of the teams. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. Do it now. 293-0450.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I roll along here on a hump day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Thanks for hanging out with us. Taylor Calandro, little Bourbon Dictionary coming up later this hour. You got questions for Taylor, you can line them up. You can email him. You can tweet me. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. You can text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. I know there's going to be a lot of criticism of Michael Thomas. I don't see it necessarily. I think if you look at it in context, he had an amazing start to his career, won NFL Offensive Player of the Year honors 2 seasons ago when he had that record-breaking season. Last year, unfortunately, was just injured in the first game of the season. And to his credit, he busted his behind to get back on the field on a bum ankle and ultimately had to shut it down later in the year. What happened this offseason, when the time is right, I'm certain more information will come out. But it was one of those things where I'm confident in saying that there was a disconnect between the player and the organization on how that injury should have been handled. And what it led to is what happened in June. Michael Thomas feeling like he would have been able to just rest and rehab it to be ready to roll. He wasn't. When he got there for OTAs and for minicamp, they realized it was worse, had to go get the procedure, and now he's had a setback. And that's massively unfortunate for this team. I don't think that's being a prima donna. I think it's a young guy who learned a really difficult lesson the hard way. But when you're playing for a team under a $100 million contract, you're going to be held to a higher standard. So a lot of the criticism he deserves, and I understand it. I do. The question for the Saints is, what options do you have? And one that became apparent is Odell Beckham. So let's go through a couple of things first. So ESPN's Kimberly Martin reported that there were discussions between the Saints and the Browns about a possible deal for Odell Beckham before the trade deadline passed. But the sides couldn't reach an agreement given how much Beckham is owed the rest of the year. Remember with the Mark Ingram contract, the Saints had less than $1 million available against the cap. And with the Mark Ingram deal, what they did was extended Mark Ingram so they were able to limit this year's cap number, but added a year next year. So with Odell, his deal actually sets up maybe beneficial for the Browns to part ways with him now if they want to. I'll get to that in a second. But effectively, the problem for New Orleans wasn't what they were willing to give up or what Cleveland was asking. It was strictly financial, and that's part of being in the dredges of cap hell. Again, we'll get to Odell's contract here in a minute and why that sort of precluded that. If you're wondering about a potential trade, went through Michael Thomas's contract numbers, which there is an out for New Orleans after this season. But if someone wanted to take on Michael Thomas's contract as part of a trade, remember the Odell trade, which is probably the best, most comparable deal that's been done recently. Odell had just signed he was 1 year into a big contract that he'd signed in New York when they traded him to the Giants. Now, that deal also included Olivier Vernon and an offensive lineman, but essentially, New York sent Odell to Cleveland for a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and Jabril Peppers. Now, Olivier Vernon was in that deal as well, and then Cleveland got or the Giants, rather, got an offensive lineman as well. But a first, a third, and Jabril Peppers is basically what it cost Cleveland to get Odell Beckham. So is there a team willing to give up a 1, a 3, and a player, a starting caliber player for Michael Thomas? That's what the Saints would have to explore. But the Browns are in a little bit of a different spot. The trade deadline has come and gone, and they weren't able to make a deal for Beckham. And when you look at what's on Odell's contract for the next 2 years, there's no dead cap money, which means if Odell isn't with the Browns after this season, it doesn't cost Cleveland anything against their cap. Now, they would have loved to be able to trade him and recoup some type of asset. It didn't work out. But Odell's number this year is $15.75 million, which would make it nearly impossible for the Saints to find space to have him under that contract. Cleveland could, if they're basically saying, look, our quarterback's hurt, we're going nowhere in a hurry this year anyway. Odell hasn't been productive in large part because Baker Mayfield hasn't been good. And now there's these issues in the locker room. They could cut Odell. He would be a free agent, an unrestricted free agent. Then he can go wherever he wants. Maybe he does a deal with New Orleans where they backload it however they want to make it work. Or maybe they do a deal just for the end of this season. However, they might work that out if you wanted to play New Orleans. But here's the kicker. Odell, and this is why this has become interesting today. So Odell Beckham Sr. went onto his Instagram account and posted a video trashing Baker Mayfield. It's an 11-minute video that was on YouTube, and it's set to like REM Everybody Hurts, and it's basically just dumping on Baker Mayfield. And so Beckham Sr., effectively stood up for his son, crushed the quarterback, and today Odell Beckham was not at practice. He was told, do not attend practice for the Browns today after his dad posted those comments on social media trashing Baker Mayfield. Beckham is under contract for 2 more years, but again, there's no more guaranteed money left on the deal. So if they wanted to get rid of Beckham, they could, and it wouldn't hurt him against the cap at all. I will be very interested because this is the one glimmer of hope there for New Orleans. Cleveland is basically at the point where they're going to wash their hands of Odell. He's not been productive. He's battled a shoulder injury. He was injured last season. We know had the knee injury. Now he's become a locker room issue. They could keep him on for the rest of this year, but what really good would that do? If they part ways with him after the year, why not just do it now? And if they did, they're free and clear of him, and they don't have anything on the books for the next 2 years of his deal anyway, and he can go wherever he wants. If you're in New Orleans and that happens, then you could go make a very competitive pitch for Odell to say, come to your hometown. We don't have a number one. You step in day one, and you are our number one for your hometown team. There's a lot of appeal there, but that is all contingent upon Cleveland cutting Odell Beckham. And I don't know definitively if that's going to happen. I think it's plausible. I don't know how possible it is, but it's certainly plausible when you consider the fact that Cleveland has told him don't come to practice. Now, they could just have him inactive for the remainder of the season and then try to trade him in the offseason or any number of things that they could do. But if you're another NFL team and you know Cleveland is trying to get rid of Odell Beckham, why not just wait for them to cut him, and then you wouldn't know him the giant contract that he has right now? That's where New Orleans might be in that group. But they probably wouldn't be the only team amid that clump. So there is a hope, a glimmer of hope that Odell Beckham could become available if Cleveland cuts him. And if that's the case and the Saints are able to sign him, there's a lot of dominoes that have to fall here, right? There's a lot of connect the dots. But you may have Odell Beckham Sr. to thank for going on social media and trashing Baker Mayfield, which might have been the final straw for the Cleveland Browns organization. Now, we're getting far, far, far ahead of ourselves here, but that's the great thing about talk radio is we can have these speculative conversations. If the Saints did add Odell Beckham, what would that mean for Michael Thomas and his future in New Orleans? It would probably mean the Saints look for a trading partner this offseason for Michael Thomas because it would be hard to justify having both of those receivers on your roster with that salary number at the same time. Not unprecedented. Look at Cleveland. They've got both Odell and Jarvis right now. It's not served that organization very well, but it is possible, albeit unlikely. So maybe Odell could be an option, possibly, if Cleveland decides to let him loose. Then the Saints could go make a play and do some type of team-friendly deal financially. Remember the deal they did for Nick Fairley, where it was basically like a one-year deal where they put like 3 voidable years on the back end so they could just spread the number out over 3 years and so it didn't crush him against the cap. That's why Kai Harley's the best at what he does. And maybe he might have the opportunity to do it with this team and this player if Cleveland parts ways with Odell Beckham. But that'd be the only way that they're able to do it. All right, it's at further review. How about that, man? More cap gymnastics, the Saints trying to get stuff right. See if they can. All right, we'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes from right now. After all that, you might need a drink. We'll have some booze questions for Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. And Scott Shanle, 30 minutes from right now. I want to talk about the Saints defense. I'll get Scott's take on the offense and what it's like if you're a defensive player and you play in this great defense and you're not getting any help offensively. We'll delve into all that 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're hanging out on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Look for that Pinnacle Green. Check them out online at pecbuilt.com. pecbuilt.com. It's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. If you want that custom pool, the outdoor kitchen, fences, decks, bulkheads, they do it all at Pinnacle Exterior Construction. And I've been telling you this for a while now, but hopefully you'll take my advice. If you're thinking about a pool at your house, this is a great time to call. It's a great time to call because you won't be rushed and you're almost guaranteed that you're going to be on the schedule and get your job done before next pool season. So call them now, go through all the plans and the design, get on the schedule, break ground around the first of the year so you'll be done, ready to swim when the weather gets nice. It's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. 757-6138, 757-6138, or pecbuilt.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my four boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Well, it was a big night for Atlanta last night. It had been since 1995, but the Braves finally champions again.
Smith comes out of the tomahawk. 0-2 on the way. Chopper out to Dansby. Dansby throws to first base. Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions! The Atlanta Braves have won the 2021 World Series in 6 games over the Houston Astros.
That's how it sounded last night on Braves radio as the Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros 7-0 in Game 6. Paulie, you feel good over there? Was it a good night for you?
It was a very good night.
Yeah? Did you ever think you'd see? Do you remember the 95 World Series?
Not really.
Oh, no, huh? Thought about it a lot today. Was those Braves teams of the 90s, which were a lot of fun with Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox and guys like Chipper Jones and even before him, Ron Gant and Terry Pendleton and Mark Lemke, a lot of those dudes. Some really, really good Braves teams that only got over the hill one time. Of course, I remember the 96 and 99 World Series, which were a lot of fun for me to watch the Yankees beat the Braves in those two. But it was a good team, man, especially do it without Acuna. Good for them. And there was no doubt in this series. I mean, they pummeled Houston throughout. So congrats to the Braves and to everyone who is an Atlanta fan and is enjoying this celebration for that win last night. All right, it's at further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Maybe we'll talk a little more with the Otter later in the show. Mattress Mack. He won for losing again because he's brilliant. We'll delve into that a little bit later. But it's after further review. Normally we go around the SEC. I'm gonna forego our traditional around the SEC right now to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about the college football playoff rankings, which were posted last night. So the latest, the first CFP rankings were posted, and the biggest air quotes here controversy is surrounding how it looks with Cincinnati, as Cincinnati came in at 6. I was doing backflips when I saw that because I don't want any stinking group of 5 team sniffing the playoff. Told you yesterday, you don't get to play in the layup line and think that just because you nailed all the layups, you have a chance to play for a championship. No, thank you. Go play in the little bowl game that nobody cares about. So Georgia 1, Bama 2, Michigan State 3, Oregon 4. After that, Ohio State 5, Cincinnati 6, Michigan 7, undefeated Oklahoma 8, undefeated Wake Forest 9, and then Notre Dame at 10. The Big 12 schools will have plenty of time to make their moves, as Oklahoma State, Baylor Oklahoma still has to play Oklahoma State and Baylor, so they got plenty of opportunities still to move up. And if Oklahoma wins those games and finishes 12-0 and wins the Big 12 championship, they will be in the playoff. And I would say the same for Wake Forest. If they're an undefeated Power 5, you're getting in the playoff. But certainly this was a big attaboy to Oregon for going to Ohio State and winning. That's why they are there. And then the committee put Alabama in there at number 2 despite their loss, going for the eye test based on what we've seen so far throughout the course of this season. But like you've heard me say so many times, I don't ever want to see a group of 5 team near the playoff. You don't deserve it. You don't play a tough enough schedule. And I don't care what you cry about. When I have to listen to Mike Oresco, the American Athletic Association commissioner, say, these rankings, the more you look at them, they're indefensible. It's clearly a Power 5 invitational. We'll see what happens the rest of the year. Yes, Mike, it is a Power 5 invitational. You need not apply. You don't play in the Power 5. You play in a little bitty conference that all you care. The reason you are playing in the FBS is money. That's it. It's the only reason. So you can go get your ass kicked by other Power 5s and get your big payday and then have a tie into the bowl game. You want to play a weak schedule, be able to collect your money, and then still have an opportunity at the playoff. No. I can't tell you how many times I've repeated this over the year. The only way that I would even begin to entertain a conversation about a group of 5 team in the playoff is if you schedule 4 road non-conference games against Power 5 teams, win them all, then we can have the conversation, because every Power 5 team plays at least 4 road Power 5 games. You don't get to schedule 1 game against Notre Dame and say, well, we did it, so you had a 1-game season? No. Doesn't work that way, Cat. Enjoy the Belk Bowl. I mean, you probably end up in the New Year's 6 playing a game that you don't belong in, but, you can steal that spot. You ain't stealing a playoff spot. No way. Gary Barta is the CFP committee chair. Key play number 3. This is what he talked about when he was asked about Cincinnati being at number 6.
I would say the committee has great respect for Cincinnati. The win at Notre Dame clearly at Notre Dame is a really impressive win. When you look at their schedule after that, or who they played after that, who else did they beat? And so that was the other question. And, the committee has been watching games all year, and most recently in the last 2 weeks, a 2-6 Navy team, and then a 1-7 Tulane team with a freshman quarterback starting. So very impressive win against Notre Dame, a lot of respect. But looking at the whole picture, we feel 6 was the right place for Cincinnati.
What did he say at the beginning? We have great respect for Cincinnati. That's true. They do have great respect for Cincinnati. They put a team that's played one game of consequence in the top 10 at number 6. Played one game of consequence, you're in the top 6. That's great respect for Cincinnati. Got them ahead of undefeated Oklahoma. That is great respect for Cincinnati. You still ain't sniffing the playoff. Not with that schedule. No way. Reese Davis also asked him if there's a ceiling for the Bearcats.
You know, we don't talk about a ceiling at all. Again, we look at what's happened so far. We don't project ahead. I think most everybody knows that. We look at what's happened so far, and Cincinnati earned their way to the number 6 spot with that big win, being undefeated, and with that big win at Notre Dame. But we haven't talked at all about a ceiling, so I really am not. I'm not ready to say there's a ceiling.
I'd like to congratulate Cincinnati on reaching their ceiling, because even though Gary Barta won't say it, they've reached their ceiling. Because they don't play another game of consequence the rest of the season. They had their one moment against Notre Dame. They won it. Congratulations. Nice win for your program. You don't deserve anything else beyond that. So let the big boys go and have their playoff, and you take your paycheck by being a part of the Power 5, because it's the only reason you're in the Power 5, and you'll never get to play for a championship because you don't deserve to get to play for a championship against that schedule. Yes, it is a Power 5 invitational, as it well should be, because it is designed and organized and run by the Power 5, not you. You want to get your ass kicked and you want to get your big paydays to go take your non-conference paydays? Okay. You want your body bag games? You want to play bowl games so you can get a little payout? Okay. You're not getting in the playoff ever, and you shouldn't. So I applaud the committee for doing the absolute right thing and keeping Cincinnati on the sideline where they belong. All right, it's After Further Review. Around the SEC is brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com. As a matter of fact, I had lunch with my buddy Trey Beal earlier today, and Trey was asked to be on the National Dealer Council for the Ricoh Corporation, which is an amazing honor. And what that means is it gives their company supply chain access that benefits your business. Like, if your business is having trouble getting a piece of equipment, well, Trey Beal, because he's part of this national board, can call the national board and get you preference, which is incredible. But that's when you do a business as big as Gulf Coast Office Products has become. GCOPnet.com, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, North Shore, and Lafayette. GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Taylor Calandro joins us next for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Got your booze questions? Get them in now for Taylor Calandro, Scott Shanle in 17 minutes. Glad you are here on AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows brought to you by Pluckers. Need a place to watch all your favorite sports? Get by Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Full slate of NBA games tonight. Pels on a back-to-back. New Orleans is at Sacramento. You need a place to watch that game? Get them by Pluckers. And look, they start at 9 o'clock Central Time. But remember, Pluckers is open till midnight or later every night of the week. So get there late, eat late, stay late, and enjoy Pluckers late. So Wednesday's a great day because Wednesday's trivia as well. So get to Pluckers, 8 o'clock, live action trivia. Get your team together, live action trivia, test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards. Trivia starts at 8. Pels game starts at 9. You've got NBA action all throughout. Make sure you get by Pluckers. 26 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV, trivia every Wednesday. It's Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Right now, at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get a new Highlander with 1.9% financing for 72 months, or we have several new Tundras in stock with the 5.7 V8 engine. So come see us today for your new Toyota. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
Wrapping up hour number one, Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. It's a Whiskey Wednesday. The weather's getting a little cool. Perfect time. Get a little brown in your glass. Taylor joins us. How are you, man?
Good. I'm sitting outside right now, and it is beautiful.
It is. It has been a magnificent day, a magnificent week. And at nighttime, it is. This is the perfect time when it starts to get a little crisp in the air to pour a nice little warm glass of whiskey to sip on out at night. Y'all got anything new around the store?
Yeah, I mean, we've been getting a lot of new beer in lately. Those guys at Pelican Craft Brands, a little craft beer distributor, they've been rotating through new releases, and they're doing a good job. A lot of craft beer. We just got Nika straight from the barrel back in, which is a hard bottle to get, a Japanese whiskey. And we got a good bit of that too.
I cracked open the barrel pick of the Redemption that you all had. I don't know if you have any left, but cracked that open last night. It's fantastic.
And it's pretty reasonable too. I think it's only $49.99 if I can remember correctly. Yeah, it's a high rye, and you're a rye fan, so
I do love rye, and that is a fantastic one. So go get you some if you can. All right, you know the drill. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, we've got a good bit of that left, I think.
You know the drill. If you want to get your questions in for Taylor, fire away. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. You can text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. And get your questions in for Taylor. All right, let's jump into some of these here. Jim Bob says, ask Taylor, what do you think of Jacob's Pardon? Bought a bottle from them yesterday, he says.
I was going to talk about Jacob's Pardon today. I was going to say that we had it. I haven't got a chance to try it yet, so I'm not very sure on how it is, but we did just get it.
Give me a little bit of a backstory there.
Jacob's part, and I'm not super familiar with it. We literally just got it in. I think it's a 15-year-old, but that's about all I know about it. It comes from a little import company. I'm not really sure. But I will have more to talk about with it next week. It's brand new to us.
Okay. Dylan Gajewski said, ask Taylor, what's your favorite holiday season scotch?
Holiday season scotch. We just got a Compass Box in. Compass Box is an independent blender from Scotland. They source all their stuff and blend it, and it's called I think it's called Apple Orchard or something. Apple something. It just tastes like apples to me, but I think it'd be great in some apple cider, hot apple cider, or something like that. It's Scotch and apple cider.
Is there? I'm going to ask you this. I know I've asked you this privately. I'll ask it on air. So I've never been able to sort of develop a palate for Scotch, the smoky, peaty flavor. What would be something that is a good, mellow, mild sort of entry point where I could start to get a little bit of a flavor profile?
So the really smoky, peaty stuff comes from Islay, which is a region in Scotland. Scotland's divided into Scotch is divided into 5 regions. Islay is the most peaty and smoky. So you don't want Isleys. You want to start with like a Highland malt, like a Macallan or something like that. Something lighter.
Okay.
They go way more light on the peat and the smoke. But a Highland malt is what you want to venture in with. Just like a Glenmorangie 10 or a Glenmorangie 12, something like that. That's what you want to try to ease into Scotch.
Brian Ossie said, ask Taylor, could you have made it in the Old West where guys basically lived on whiskey?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
you could have. You would have survived swinging through the saloon doors and sleeping on the dirt every night and stuff like that. I wouldn't.
Sure.
I wouldn't have lasted a day.
Oh, you're soft.
I'm way too soft. I'm happy to admit that. I'm bougie. I'm bougie. Give me a comfortable bed, a nice heated blanket. Maybe
that wasn't an option back then.
Well, that's why I'm saying I wouldn't have made it then. That's my point exactly here. I'm acknowledging this. There's no shame here. I'm telling you this. I would not have made it.
You would have made it, I think.
I don't think that I would have. I would have said, somebody get me back to New York where I can have a mint on my pillow. And not a bumpy wagon ride either. I have no interest in the bumpy wagon ride.
Little Oregon Trail action.
No shot. Zero shot that I'm ever the people who died of dysentery along the Oregon Trail. That sounds miserable. What are you doing, people? Jason Bourgeois. That was enough of the Oregon Trail for me. Jason Bourgeois asked Taylor, just got this Smoke Wagon small batch. Can't wait to try. What say you about it?
I tried a Smoke Wagon last week, and I have 2 more that I haven't opened yet. I think Smoke Wagon is spectacular. It's not available in Louisiana. Hopefully it will be soon. I'm going to actually try to start working an angle with Smoke Wagon. I think I have one. But what I tried last week is really good whiskey. So if you can get your hands on it, definitely pick it up.
Ask Taylor, what do you think about Chestnut Farm, Kentucky Straight Bourbon? What's a good price?
I haven't tried Chestnut Farm yet. So I don't know.
That was a very long exhale right into the phone as well.
Sorry.
That's okay. Craig says, ask Taylor, I have Whistlepig Boss Hog 8. Should I sell it or open it and drink it?
Whistlepig Boss Hog 8, is that the newest one with the rum?
That's got to be, right?
I can't keep up with these Whistlepig releases. You could, I don't know. Yes, that is the newest one.
Yes.
I definitely wouldn't sell it because I want to try it. So.
Yeah, 6 was the sort of Asian inspired one. 7 last year was was Magellan.
Magellan.
Yeah,
and Magellan was good. It was different because they used those different woods to finish it, and I enjoyed it. It had a little different flavor than a normal Whistlepig, and I'm very excited about this rum one. So, me personally, I would not sell it.
All right, we got a minute. Let's see if we can work in a few. Adam Clayton said Midwinter Night's Dram coming in.
Hopefully, that's a one-time a year thing for us, and it usually goes in a raffle. And it's very, very good if you trip over a bottle of that somewhere.
Best bourbon with Boudin from Jay.
Best bourbon? Any bourbon, man. I don't know. Four Roses Small Batch Select. I always recommend that one. I love that bourbon.
Devin said, what's the best bourbon in the dictionary?
What is the best bourbon in the dictionary?
We call the segment Bourbon Dictionary.
Oh, the best bourbon in the dictionary is, oh, man, what's the best bourbon I've had in a long time? I don't know. Let me think about that. I'm going to circle back to it, though.
Well, Taylor, one day I have faith that you're going to get down pat the rapid fire thing. We've been doing this for about a year now. We're going to get it.
I know.
I have 3 seconds. I've got to go. I'll talk to you next week.
AFR.
He still doesn't understand heartbreaks either. We'll get him. All right, we're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com. A week from tomorrow, 1 week from tomorrow, is Christmas in November at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Christmas in November is the one-day only best sale prices of the year at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge from 10 until 2, and then they'll take a break and come back in the evening from 4 o'clock until close. It's a week from tomorrow at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. They will have food. They will have drinks. You have beer and wine. They will have live entertainment. So you can RSVP at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, or just show up. The single-day best prices of the year. Check them out online for more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hand Injury Lawyers.
This is Sportscenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A lot less star power will be on the field for Sunday's Packers-Chiefs game. Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers is out after testing positive for COVID-19. QB Jordan Love expected to make his first NFL start in Kansas City. The earliest Rodgers can return is November 13th for NFL COVID protocols. The league's considered Rodgers unvaccinated since the season began. As long as Rodgers' absence is short, the Packers should be all right with Love, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
As long as you have the nucleus there of Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams and Lazard and a defense that plays okay at times, and the play caller in Matt LaFleur, you should be okay to weather the storm. Backups don't. 2 games, 3 games for backup, you're okay.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports quarterback Blake Bortles expected to be signed to the Packers practice squad and be eligible for the 53-man roster on Sunday. Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey designated to return from injured reserve after missing the last 5 games with a knee injury. He could return Sunday against the Patriots. For more on these stories, tune in at the 6 Eastern Sports Center, ESPN TV.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Always appreciate when Scott Shanle gives us a couple of minutes of his time. He joins us now. Scott, thanks for the time. How are you, man?
Absolutely. I'm doing good.
Let's start by reacting to the news. The big news today, of course, Michael Thomas is done for the season. You see that. What's your reaction?
Surprised, but I guess the way this past year has gone in the Michael Thomas drama, I'm not surprised. I think it's unfortunate because this whole thing could have probably been prevented had he returned calls from the organization throughout the spring, which caused a little bit of a rift between them. And then obviously when you elect to get surgery right before the season, there's probably a bigger divide in between you and the organization. But from all accounts, they were excited about getting Michael back. I'm not sure what the setback was, but this whole thing could have been prevented because this setback would have happened in June, and he could have been coming back right now.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up, Scott, because there was a decidedly different tone from Sean Payton. And I'll ask you this question. You played for him. You know him. When Michael Thomas's first, I guess, when he had to have the surgery, Sean Payton was not pleased. It was obvious listening to him. Today, it was a much more supportive tone of Michael Thomas. Do you read anything into that?
Well, anytime you feel like Coach Payton's tone is going supportive, you're lucky, because he could have gone drastically with a different tone, especially after everything that's gone on. But I think maybe that tone is because he's seen Michael working. He knows his intent was to come back. He knows his intent was to come back and help them try to win football games. Because right now, sitting on the outside looking in without seeing Michael's work ethic, you're thinking, well, it's just another Michael Thomas drama episode, whether it was last year getting into fights with Chauncey or not playing or being mad at the organization for being suspended for a game. So on the outside looking in, you think it's just another drama episode of Michael, whereas maybe Coach Payton's tone is saying, no, this guy's been working hard. His intent was to come back. We need to be patient with him because he does want to play.
You know, there is this other lingering conversation out there that the organization apparently kicked the tires on a trade with Odell Beckham, and now it looks like Cleveland might be on the outs with Odell, or Odell might be on the outs with Cleveland. I'm going to ask you a hypothetical, which is the beauty of this medium where we can discuss hypotheticals. If Cleveland decides to cut Odell Beckham, should the Saints try to sign him?
Under normal circumstances, I would say no, but I think these circumstances are different. I think you need a playmaker. I think you need somebody on the perimeter. I think they just need help at wide receiver position, and it's going to be up to Odell Beckham. He's going to have suitors. If they cut him, the Packers, the Rams seem to be able to sign everybody under the sun. You're going to have suitors going after Odell, and if I look at it from Odell Beckham's situation. Do I want to go to New Orleans? Yes, it's home, but I'm going to be playing with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian, or I go play with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be an easy decision for him if he has other suitors.
He would go to a contender, even if he had the opportunity to play in his hometown and play for a coach like Sean Payton in this offense, where he knows. I mean, the counter to the Green Bay issue is Devontae Adams is there. You come to New Orleans, you're the unquestioned number one.
Yeah, you're the unquestioned number one. And then you would think if the Saints go and sign Odell Beckham, they're saying you are our number one, and that's probably not so good of a sign for Michael Thomas going forward.
Yeah.
So I think if they go out and sign Odell, I think Odell's you're going to be your number one receiver for the next couple of years.
Scott Shanle is our guest. All right, let's take it to the present, where with what we know instead of less of the the speculative aspect, and that's that Jameis Winston is done for the year. And Sean Payton has said he's not interested in looking outside of the organization for a quarterback. If I asked you moving forward, who would you like to see as this team's starting quarterback, Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian, which way would you go?
Well, do you have any other options?
No? I mean, Ian Book, but no. I mean, well, let me ask you, like Cam Newton, Phillip Rivers. I mean, those are the other ones that have been sort of bandied about that would at least be guys who had starting experience, high-level starting experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've made it be known that I thought Jameis was the better quarterback, and I wanted him to get the job over Taysom because I don't believe Taysom is an NFL quarterback. But I think if you're going to go with these two guys, you're going to see a lot more Taysom at quarterback. Maybe he's just more comfortable with the offense since he's been here a lot longer. That could be one reason. Maybe he can get in and out of plays at the line of scrimmage. But, this defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And I think offensively, you can't win the way they played every week, especially come playoff time with Dinkin and Duncan and trying not to have quarterback turn the ball over. He's got to make plays. So to answer your question, I'm good with Phillip Rivers to play a half a season. The hard thing for Phillip is learning in a whole new offense, and Sean's offense is not easy. My answer, and I don't know if people want to hear this, I would go beg Drew Brees to come back for half a season. The guy knows the offense. He's stayed in shape. He missed all of training camp. His body should be rested and ready. I think he gives you your best chance to win.
So Drew Brees was asked that on Football Night in America, and he said, "I'll be at Notre Dame Navy on Saturday, and I'll be here," meaning Football Night in America on Sunday. I mean, Scott, is it even realistic to go knock on Drew Brees' door and ask him to come back?
I think it's very realistic. In fact, I was watching Drew when he was up there with Dungy and Tirico talking on the stage, trying to see how many times he was checking his phone, because if I'm Coach Payton and Mickey Loomis, I'm blowing that dude up as soon as that game's over last week against Tampa Bay, because I think he can play well enough. I know everybody's going to say, well, he can't throw a deep ball and he started to age. The guy was completing 70% of his balls. And if he can do that in this offense with his timing and rhythm, because Jameis, yes, he may be a better quarterback right now. He can throw farther, but even Jameis didn't look great in the offense or comfortable, and that timing just wasn't there with him.
Man, it's fascinating. I did want to go – I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to go at least this direction with you, which is you played on some great defenses, on a championship defense. This Saints defense is a championship caliber defense. No one would even dispute that. What's it like for those guys right now, playing at the level they are, but knowing the offense just is incapable of being a championship offense?
Well, maybe they feel like some of the Drew Brees offenses when we had bad defenses, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that's the flip side of that. I think it can be frustrating, but I think there's a ton of confidence on that side of the ball that they believe if our offense can score 17 or 20 points, that we should win the games we're playing in, because they're that good. And I think that defense has those type of goals set. Just go out there, don't turn the ball over offense, control the clock. We're going to do our thing over here, and we're going to try to keep offenses under 20. If you can do that, you're good enough to win with Coach Payton calling plays and trying to manipulate defenses. It's just, like I said earlier, it's hard to do once you get in the playoffs and you're playing great quarterbacks. To expect our defense to hold everybody in the teens, That's just really hard to do, and that's why you got to find some productivity on the offensive side of the ball, on the outside at the wide receiver position.
So, Scott, when you look at this team then, let's assume they are whole. This is kind of what I said earlier in the show. Let's assume they're whole. They are a quarterback what they're going to be. They're not going to add a big play receiver. Let's assume they are whole right now. What is possible for this team?
Well, I love their schedule, first and foremost, going forward. I think the schedule sets up pretty good. Now, the Bills, you're going to play the Bills on a Thursday. You're going to play the Cowboys on a Thursday. Those are two really good teams. You're going to play Tampa Bay again. To me, those are the three games where we are going to know what to expect out of this team come the playoffs. Because, just don't stub your toe against the teams you're supposed to be. The Eagles, the Falcons, those type of teams. Don't stub your toe against those teams and then get into those other three battles, and those are toss-up games. We'll know how far this team can go in the playoffs. As long as this defense plays this way, you have Sean Payton calling plays, you have Alvin Kamara, and this offensive line, I should mention them. If they play the way they're capable, this team can beat anybody. It's just going to be hard without the passing game.
Scott Shanle, former Saint linebacker. It is going to be certainly not lacking for storylines and intrigue down the stretch here. We always appreciate a couple of minutes. We'll be in touch. Thanks for the time, as always. Have a great rest of your week, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
All right, be well. We always appreciate Scott for a couple of minutes. Man, that's his comments on Drew Brees are. I'm going to clip that and I'm going to put it on social media with complete context. I'm going to put the whole thing out there. But I really wonder how realistic that is. Could you lure Drew Brees back? I mean, wasn't it? Who am I thinking of that took I'm trying to think now. That took a TV job and was there for like a week or two. It was a couple years ago. Does this sound familiar? And then when it was who was the Saints backup? In someone posted. You'll know who I'm talking about. Someone's going to post it. Post it in the chat if you would. Someone will know what I'm talking about. It was Josh McCown or Luke McCown, one of the McCowns, whichever one of those it was. That was the same. It was Drew Brees' backup. He was out of football for like a minute. I'm gonna find this. It was like Luke McCown or Josh McCown was one of them. I don't remember which one, but it was Drew Brees' backup. Retired, was out of football. Got right back in like 2 weeks after taking a TV deal because somebody got hurt. They got hired right back in or signed by another team. Here it was. It was not Jason Witten. It was a quarterback. Jason Witten did the same thing. But I'm talking about quarterback. But yeah, Jason Witten did the same thing as well. Did Monday Night Football for a year, then went back into the NFL. Anyway, so not completely unprecedented for someone to be retired, there to be an injury, and someone try to get back in. We're seeing it right now with Phillip Rivers, who pretty much essentially is willing to get back in and play again now. So in any event, we'll obviously follow it, but people keep saying Witten, not Witten. It was McCown. I'm telling you, it was Josh McCown, who was Drew Brees' backup for a while. He had retired. He had done like 1 week of TV. I mean, it was like a week or 2 weeks into the season, and then got re-signed out of the booth. All right, it's after further review. Overrated, underrated, bottom of this hour. We've successfully made it an hour and 15 minutes. I've not mentioned a word about LSU and Alabama because I'm trying to boycott that for the entire week because it's just going to be an awful game that no one should at all be looking forward to. But anyway, Ed Orgeron did make an announcement making it official that another starter is going to be out defensively for LSU, so we will commiserate when we return on AFR.
AFR.
The official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints and of LSU Athletics, Hancock Whitney Bank, member FDIC. Online at HancockWhitney.com. For 120 years, Hancock Whitney, their mantra has been, your dreams, our mission. That's what's been at their core for more than a century now at Hancock Whitney Bank. If you want to find a financial center near you, and they've got them all over, not only Louisiana, but all over the entire Gulf Coast, HancockWhitney.com, HancockWhitney.com. if you need help post-Hurricane Ida, maybe your small business, you're looking to launch or grow, HancockWhitney.com. They have personal banking, commercial banking. As I mentioned, if you're a small business, they have small business banking. They even have wealth management options there at Hancock Whitney. If you want to talk to a Hancock Whitney banker to work on your investment strategy, HancockWhitney.com. HancockWhitney.com, the official banking partner of LSU Athletics and the New Orleans Saints, HancockWhitney.com.
It is not too late. You can enroll today at ITI. Winter classes start November 17th. Our industry-driven curriculum will put you on a new career on a fast track. Enroll today for a better life.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Oh, yeah, I've been telling you great news that sports betting live in Louisiana, and DraftKings Sportsbook is coming soon to Louisiana. It won't be long until you can bet on your favorite sports and all your favorite teams from the comfort of your own home on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $100 in free bets if you sign up before they go live. So listen now. It's not live yet, but it's coming soon. And you will get a you'll get $100 in free bets if you sign up before they go live. So download the DraftKings app right now. Use the code Baton Rouge. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code Baton Rouge. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code Baton Rouge when you sign up. If you sign up now, before they go live, they'll give you $100 in free bets. That's before mobile online betting hits Louisiana. Sign up now. DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code Baton Rouge. Get $100 in free bets. Okay. LSU's going to play Alabama on Saturday out of obligation. It's not going to go well. LSU cannot win this game. I was reminded, though, today by my good friend Richard Condon that November the 6th which is Saturday, November the 6th is the anniversary of the Pigs flying game when LSU went to Tuscaloosa in 1993 and beat third-ranked Alabama as a 4-touchdown underdog. So crazy days there with Curly Hallman's team going to Alabama and upsetting the defending national champions. Now Ed Ogeron's team going 26 years later on the same date to Tuscaloosa in the same stadium to take on the defending national champions as a 4-touchdown underdog. Perhaps some weird parallels and foreshadowing. Really impossible for me to see it. I know it's why they play the game. It would just take the circumstance that I just can't even fathom to see LSU winning this game. And I'm not going to try to pretend that I'm going to give you any angle that makes sense, especially if it wasn't bad enough. Ed Ogeron today was asked for an update on defensive back Cordell Flott.
Just wanted to see if you had an update on Cordell Flott's status for Saturday.
Very questionable. Very questionable. I doubt if he's going to play.
So, doubt if he's going to play. Remember, you're already down Derek Stingley, Elias Ricks. We learned earlier this week Sage Ryan is out. Major Burns is out. That's 4 starters. And now you're out Cordell Flott. Basically, your entire starting secondary is out. Jay Ward is the one guy who's still available who started the season at safety, and he's even missed time this year due to injury. Against that offense, which scores 46 a game and throws it for over 300 a game with those receivers, and Ed Ogeron was asked, is 8, does the scheme change because of the injuries in the secondary?
Combination of both. We have to play our defense. We've been playing that all season. That's what our guys know. And but we have to put in a couple of new wrinkles. That's what we found in our self-scout. So there'll be a couple of new wrinkles, but we got to play with the guys we have, and they got to step up. And Cam Lewis and Darren Evans and all those guys got to step up, and I know they will.
Stepping up, meaning they're going to actually physically go onto the field and play snaps? Yes. Are they going to play at a level capable of winning this game? No. I just have last year, you knew LSU was going to lose to Alabama as well, with the way that defense played and what Alabama was offensively. And I don't even know if a year ago I felt the same way I do right now. The complete and total inability for LSU. I mean, maybe even last year because LSU moved the football, I felt like LSU and Bama gave up plays like LSU might be able to score. You get some turnovers, maybe you can make it competitive. This is one of those where I don't even know how they make it competitive. Look, if you're looking for something to keep an eye on in this ball game, I'll give you Damone Clark. Because we've talked about it. He's leading the nation in tackles. And, he's a guy that is a semifinalist for the Butkus Award, has a chance to be an All-American, should be an All-American, and a national award winner. But, he's the one guy maybe to keep an eye on. Not 6, please, if you would. Here was Damone Clark talking about taking on Bama this week, considering all the injuries.
At the end of the day, we got to just trust our coach. And, we see the things on film that we need to do. Or we see the things that other teams have had success against them with. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it's Alabama, LSU. It's what you come to SEC school to play for. So, at the end of the day, I look at this as you don't make it no bigger than what it is. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. It's just like this is how I look at it. It's another game for me to go out there and prove myself and just to continue to, just play to the very end and just give my team my all.
it is Alabama LSU on paper. And Damone Clark's aware that there's people like me and many others who are saying all of these things this week.
I mean, Coach O always tells us to block out the noise, but we know, people gonna count us out. So that's kind of more fuel to the fire. You just go out there and just play. Like I said, me personally, I don't make it, no bigger than it is. You just got to go out there and just play and just trust everything that the coaches are prepping us for this week.
I don't know how you trust everything the coaches are prepping you for when you haven't been properly prepared all year. I know I'm just horribly negative this week. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I wish there was something that I could tell you. I wish there was something I could say, hey, look, well, LSU really has this advantage. Like, Bama's weak in the second. Like, I know this is a college and NFL comp, so it's not what and what, but last week with Tampa, we could at least look and go, hey, man, Tampa's secondary is really bad. The Saints might be able to make some plays through the air. I get it. It's a pro game as opposed to college, and it's not the same, so it's not a great analogy. I get it. But there was at least a spot on the field where I could say they're weak there, and you can make some plays. I don't see that here at all. LSU can't run the football. They can't stop the run. LSU can't throw the football really effectively. At times they have thrown it effectively, but against Alabama's defense, I don't know how that goes. And they've really struggled to protect the passer, and Alabama's got the best pass rusher in America. I don't see a matchup that favors LSU where they're going to be able to make any hay. Nick Saban on Wednesday did discuss how the week of preparation has gone for his Crimson Tide team.
We came off and I think got a lot done in our bye week, and we've had good preparation so far. The Alabama-LSU game is one that means a lot to both programs, and is always a tough and physical game. They've got a lot of good players on both sides of the ball. They're throwing the ball very effectively. Max Johnson has played very well for them. He's got 20 touchdown passes. Their defense does a great job with the pass rush, and they got a lot of good athletes that do a good job of covering. They always have great team speed, so they're really good on special teams. So, this is going to be a challenging game for us, and make sure we're well prepared. We're still trying to play our best football game, so that's something we want to keep working toward.
Nick Saban talking about the LSU-Alabama game this weekend from Tuscaloosa, 6 p.m., and they'll play it, and hopefully it's over soon. And then LSU can focus on the next 2 weeks, which they can win. They can beat Arkansas. They should beat ULM, and if they do that, LSU's bowl eligible. And then you'd have a maybe save your season, feel-good type moment potentially against Texas A&M in Baton Rouge on November the 27th. See if they can send Ed Ogeron out of Tiger Stadium a winner. But this weekend is just not going to be that. It's at the further review. We're brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Keep reminding the Healthy Men Project kicks off this weekend. brgeneral.org to learn more. brgeneral.org to learn more about the Healthy Men Project or to register. So get on by the Baton Rouge General Hospital this Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. They're going to have demonstrations, Ask the Expert stations. Men age 30 to 50 will ignore our health. Baton Rouge General is encouraging you, don't do that. Take the necessary steps to be proactive about your health. It's the Healthy Men Project. This Saturday is a kickoff event at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Register. It's free, but register so they have a head count. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. All right, we'll do overrated, underrated when we come back. Muso will have Tigers in the pros. Pete Fiutak of College Football News will be with us in hour 3. No Russ Mitchell today. Unfortunately, Russ is traveling, so Pete will be with us in Russ's stead in about 45 minutes from right now to preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. Glad you're with us here. Brought to you by Pluckers. It's AFR.
AFR.
Always love telling you about Relief Windows, windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Because listen, there are a lot of different businesses that can sell you windows. There are. But there aren't a lot of businesses in any industry that will not take $1 from you until you're thrilled with the work that they do. That's Relief Windows. I give you stories all the time about Brandon Holly. How about this one? Someone bought windows from Relief Windows. There was an issue with the window. It was a manufacturer issue, not a Relief Windows issue, a manufacturer issue. Water got in the house, kind of damaged the floor. Brandon Holly paid for that family to be put up in a hotel, paid to redo their floors and redid the windows while they waited on the manufacturer to refund the windows. Why? Because he just wants every customer to be thrilled. You don't hear that often, do you? That is, unless you trust Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
You guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Auctioner Health.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we'll get to overrated, underrated here in just a quick second. And Musha will have Tigers in the pros coming up in a bit. Henry Ruggs, you probably know by now, was involved in an accident that killed a 23-year-old woman, and he has been released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, what a story. We now know that Ruggs was traveling 156 miles an hour just before the crash. He was decelerating, and the airbags deployed while the vehicle was going 127 miles an hour. You could see his Corvette, half the car is missing. The RAV4, the Toyota SUV that burst into flames, is just, it's just obviously burned. A terribly tragic story in a literal sense. I mean, a tragedy involves a death, and this involves a death. But man, y'all, Henry Ruggs, his life is just over. He faces up to 26 years in prison for this. 22 years old, was a first-round draft pick of the Raiders. He was the 12th overall pick in 2020 after 3 years at Alabama, won a national championship. This guy was second in the NFL at 19.5 yards per reception, and it's over. It's over. So, but his NFL career being over, it pales in comparison to this 23-year-old woman losing her life in this tragic accident. But man, I'll never understand it. I'll never understand why anybody would drink and drive. Like, it's so easy to just get an Uber now or a Lyft. And man, especially if you're someone of means, hire a car service. Just be smart. All right, it's out to further review. Muso's going to have Tigers in the Pros coming up here in a little bit. Appreciate Pluckers, title sponsor for Hump Day shows all throughout the year. Nicholson and Bluebonnet trivia tonight and every Wednesday. You got the Pels playing the second of a back-to-back tonight, so need a place to watch. You can always get by Pluckers, Nicholson, or Bluebonnet Dining Care at Pluckers. You don't like our wings, we give you the bird. Okay, let's do some overrated or underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Criminally underrated.
Criminally underrated. All right, Matt, started off this way today.
Hi.
Overrated or underrated stadium light shows?
I think stadium light shows are actually overrated. I'm assuming, though, you're talking about like the strobe effect.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, strobe effect, like after a touchdown or after a home run or something. Georgia has those bright red lights that they like to shine.
Bama does it too.
Bama, all of that into one. Even UCLA and what they did with California Love.
That's my one hesitation is the California Love thing was very cool, but with or without the light show, California Love at the end of the third quarter was really cool. So, like if they were just playing some techno beat and doing the light show, I probably wouldn't have thought much of it. It really was the California Love part that was cool, less the light show that was cool. But it kind of all worked because it was LA, kind of made it feel like a nightclub, which was kind of cool. I'm not so much into gimmicks like that. I don't love fireworks and things of that nature in stadiums. I'm very much a believer in organic emotion. Can you create organic emotion in your venue? If you can, that's when things are special, not light shows, etc. But I probably feel like, get off my lawn guy there. I try not to be that. I say have your fun, but I'm just not a huge fan of them. Overrated.
Stadium light shows are stupid.
Overrated. Overrated. It's not whether they're stupid. The question is, are they overrated or underrated?
I know, but
the
that's
segment,
the question I posed to you.
The segment is overrated, underrated. And this is the basis of the segment. So if we are trying to determine if it's effective, I would say they are effective for the home crowd. So in that respect, maybe they're underrated. But I'm letting my own personal feelings of not liking them sift in here.
Overrated or underrated onion rings?
Oh, onion rings are underrated. People hear onion rings and think, but my introduction to onion rings were Popeye's onion rings back in the day. Now, they've changed. Oh, they've changed. Popeye's onion rings are no longer what they once were. They are not the best onion rings, and they are a shell of what they once were. Like, I'm talking late 80s, New Orleans, the black stone Popeyes with the red roof. You know what I'm talking about or no? Any idea?
Yeah.
Look, the old school, the original Popeyes locations, and this is like when I was a child. You could get, the Popeyes kids meal was called a Pal Pack. And in a Pal Pack, you could get a little toy, and the toy was one of the Popeyes characters. Popeye or Wembley, wasn't that as like, I'll gladly trade you a burger today for 2 burgers, whatever. That guy, olive oil. You get the little, it was like a little bendable, Gumby type person in your, see, this isn't a good enough, I'm trying to find a picture of an original Popeyes for you here, Muse, and I'll show you. Having trouble finding one, but if someone could find me a picture of an original Popeyes, like that was the black stone Popeyes with the red roofs, send it to me. I'm doing a Google search, having trouble finding it. Anyway, onion ring, those Popeyes onion rings are amazing. But onion rings are amazing, especially when they're crispy. It's a wonderful alternative to French fries, which are just fried potatoes, which are very good, but fried onions are even better than fried potatoes. So many people just don't give them a chance. The texture of an onion ring, the flavor of an onion ring, yes, onion rings, yes, criminally underrated. We overrate French fries. French fries are very good, don't misunderstand, but we underrate an onion ring.
Overrated or underrated?
You got me very passionate about this.
Yes. Big onion ring guy.
Big onion ring guy. I got to find this original Popeyes location. I'm telling you, you got to see this, Muse. You got to find one. The internet has everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The internet has everything. Surely they have a picture of an original Popeye somewhere. Someone help me with this.
Most likely. Overrated or underrated? Body paint for sports. Now, let me explain. I'm talking group. Like 3 or 4.
Overrated,
Okay.
You're an idiot. It's not about you. You're an idiot.
You don't even like some of the phrases they paint?
It's not about you. You're an idiot. It's about supporting the team. If you dress up to go to a game, if you paint your body to go to a game, what you are doing is not supporting your team. You are drawing attention to yourself. You are not better than the guy in section 374 who paid the same amount you did for your ticket, who yells just as loud as you did, who chose not to be a goofball and paint himself. You're an idiot. It's not about you. Stop painting your body, you idiot.
All right, then. Overrated or underrated? Emma Stone.
I can't say I know a ton about Emma Stone.
Okay.
She was in Superbad.
Superbad.
And I think that might be all I got for you.
Okay. I mean, that's a great movie.
I liked her in Superbad.
It was a good movie.
What else was Emma Stone in that I would know?
I don't know. The Help, Easy A, Zombieland.
Nope.
None of that.
Nope.
None of that ringing a bell.
Nope.
We missed the mark on that one.
Got any more?
Yeah, overrated or underrated? Iced coffee.
I can be look. I'm okay with like frozen coffee drinks, so I'm okay with iced coffee drinks as well. Sometimes you don't want hot coffee, but you want the flavor of coffee. So I'm good with it. I will say that that's underrated. Actually, maybe it's properly rated, which is why it exists, because clearly there's a market for it. And really, I'm only half paying attention to you, Muse, because I'm trying to find this damn Popeyes.
You've got no luck.
I'm going
You've
to
got
find
nothing.
they exist or existed. I'm going to find an original Red Roof Popeyes location, a photograph of a Red Roof Popeyes location that had like the stone, the black stone was the building, and then the roof was it. Paul, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have any clue here?
I have no idea.
I mean, this is amazing to me. I am looking at how does the internet, how has this been buried for all time somewhere in the dredges of the internet? It's I cannot believe this. I didn't dream this up. Like, this isn't a fabrication in my mind.
No one sent you a picture like in the text line or anything?
Well, I haven't looked in the text line yet, but even still, if I look in the text line, then I can't show our audience.
That's true.
I'm looking feverishly for someone to send me this picture. Popeyes from Supergirl movie. What's Supergirl?
Huh? I mean, I would imagine that's Superman, but, you know.
That's
girl.
Wonder Woman.
That's different.
No, well, Superman and Wonder Woman is the female component or female counter to Superman.
Yeah.
There is no Superman, Supergirl.
There's Supergirl.
Supergirl. I never even heard of that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Supergirl. Overrated.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you.
Where's this damn Popeyes?
I don't know.
Somebody send me a picture of the original Popeyes for the love of God.
That's overrated or underrated.
How in the world can I not find a picture of the original Popeyes? The internet has every damn thing, but I can't find a picture of an original Popeyes. I'm going to spend the entire 3-minute break looking for a picture of a Popeyes, a restaurant that's probably been closed for 2 decades now, maybe longer. When was the last time you saw one of the original This chair. I swear I'm going to throw this chair. Like, now I'm pissed off at the chair. I'm pissed off because I can't find the Popeyes, and now the chair keeps going down on, like, it keeps pumping down. I'm going to say going down. I mean, I know what the chat would do with that. Just go to break, Musso. Go to break!
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. I'm all flustered. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagoneer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day, buy local and shop local at Clegg's Nursery. The weather's gorgeous, y'all. This is the best time of year when it's just a little light jacket weather. It's not so hot that you sweat when you walk outside. It's not so cold that the snot in your nose freezes. It's the perfect time of year. It's the perfect time to add that pop of color. Just plant something. Replant those flower beds, those flower pots on your outdoor spaces. Add your earth tones, your greens, your oranges, your browns, your beautiful fall colors. They have all the fall plants, and this is the perfect time to plant trees and shrubs, and Clegg's Nursery has them all. Buy local, shop local, tell them I sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Oh, I made a mess. We found the Popeyes, though.
We did find the Popeyes.
I'm going to tell you, Muse. I just lost. The whole show just went off the rails with that.
Yes.
I got so frustrated. and I have a temper. As many of you know, if you've listened to the show for a long time. My mother and my wife know that probably the most. Just the Italian blood in me. Something set me off, and then I couldn't find the Popeyes. Stupid chair kept... In the grand scheme, these are not things that are a big deal, but it just builds within me, and then I blow the top off.
Creates a big thing.
And so I took that chair, and I just threw it that way. Paul, can you go like one of the big wide shots so people could see the set, how it's set up? I don't even care if it's the fisheye. Okay, so the chair was here, and I just threw it that way, and there's a little table sitting right here. The table's broken, of course, and I have my gallon jug of water on that table. It knocked the gallon jug over, and it broke on the ground. So there is now a gallon of water at my feet. All of my show prep is soaking wet. There are no towels here. So Muse gave me a half a roll of paper towels, which...
That's being generous. It was probably like a quarter of a roll.
Which are all now just sopped in water, which I could wring the...
Well, now you have to dry it up again.
Well,
why would you do that?
Does it matter?
Yes.
It's not dry.
Now you're standing in a puddle. Oh, my God.
I'm
bigger puddle now. Bigger puddle now.
Nobody drop an electric wire right here because I'll die if it happens that way. Muso has Tigers in the pros.
But we found the Popeyes.
Somebody send me a towel.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Okay, that could work. Yeah. But yeah, we found the Popeye. Shout out Terry Landry. Sent the picture. It's good stuff.
I got a big table skirt here. I think this could work. Think?
Just stand on it.
You think that'll sop it up a little bit?
Yeah. T-Bob uses that table skirt as a jacket sometimes in the morning.
Do we have? Oh, then I'll leave it soaking wet right here for him. So then he gets this like sopping wet table skirt.
Got him. Got him.
All right. Do your Tigers in the pros thing.
Alex Bregman.
I'm going to be over here cleaning up, all right?
Alex Bregman closed out a disappointing postseason with an 0-for-3 performance with 2 strikeouts in Game 6 of the World Series. For the Fall Classic, Alex Bregman hit .095 in the 6 games. Bit of a rough year for Bregman all around. Injury causing him to miss a ton of games.
Live read papers are soaking wet. Oh.
Your folder's soaking wet, too. Look at that. Pels played the Suns last night. Garrett Temple was on the floor for 23 minutes.
Lost control.
8 points. You feel like you're taking crazy pills?
No, not taking crazy pills.
2 of 4 shooting for Garrett Temple.
I'm very aware of what's happening. It's my fault.
1 rebound, 2 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks for Garrett. Temple and the Pels.
I'm using a table skirt to clean up a gallon of water at my feet.
Temple and the Pels will be back on the floor
I
tonight.
love that gallon of water. I use it every day,
versus the Kings in the second half of a back-to-back. Naz Reid will also be in action tonight for the Timberwolves as they host the Clippers.
Erica, if you're watching, I need you to buy me a new gallon jug because I broke the last one.
The Hawks visit the Nets. Skylar Mays and Cam Thomas will be in action there. And then, of course, in the NFL, you've probably heard by now, Odell Beckham Jr. might be on the outs to Cleveland Browns. OBJ told to not attend practice today. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, saying that he is not with the team.
Beckham's not doing anything. Tell him to bring towels.
Okay. I don't know him, so I can't do that. But if I did, I would.
Look him up on Instagram, Muse. It's what all the kids do in 2021. Be resourceful.
Okay. I'll get right on that. So we'll keep you posted on what happens with Odell Beckham Jr. If he stays in Cleveland, works out the differences, or if he is released, cut, and ends up with another team, perhaps maybe the New Orleans Saints. And that is Tigers in the pros.
What are we talking about?
That's Tigers in the pros, brought to you by
Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. After this, I may need to go to Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry and buy someone some fine jewelry as a thank you, or as an apology, rather, for, messing up the studio. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Something for any budget, And no matter your budget, you will always get the Lee Michaels experience. Locations all over Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. It's where Louisiana goes to get engaged. LMFJ.com. All right, we're putting a button here on hour number 2. Big story of the day, if you haven't heard yet. I'm sure you have by now. Michael Thomas is done for the season. What does that mean for the Saints this year? And then what does it mean for Michael Thomas for the rest of his career? Is his time in New Orleans done? We'll delve into that in hour number 3. Pete Fiutak of College Football News will be with us. Normally it's Russ Mitchell. Russ had to travel today, so unavailable to join us. But Pete Fiutak from College Football News, he'll join us to preview the biggest games in the SEC coming up in about 20 minutes from right now. We're glad you're with us. Sportscenter gets you kicked off here in just a moment.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com, where we are very pleased to announce that Sign Then Drive is back at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or SouthPointVW.com. Sign Then Drive, 0 down, 0 due at signing, no first month's payment, no security deposit. Basically, sign your name and you drive away in a brand new vehicle from South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or SouthPointVW.com. It is an amazing time of year as well over at South Point Volkswagen. Right now at South Point, you can reserve any vehicle online. If you're concerned about the inventory shortage, but there's a vehicle you want, you can reserve your vehicle today at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. You can have the entire car buying experience there. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. South Point.
It is not too late. You can enroll today at ITI. Winter classes start November 17th. Our industry-driven curriculum will put you on a new career on a fast track. Enroll today for a better life.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hand injury lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. The Packers won't have quarterback Aaron Rodgers Sunday against the Chiefs. He's out after testing positive for COVID-19. Jordan Love expected to make his first career NFL start in his place. The earliest Rodgers can return is November 13th. The NFL has considered Rodgers as unvaccinated since the start of the season. Sources said Rodgers follows masking protocols while interacting with players and coaches inside team headquarters. However, he doesn't wear a mask while in the media auditorium during his weekly and post-game press conferences, a violation of NFL COVID protocols, and he should be disciplined for that, believes our Chris Canty.
For Aaron Rodgers to knowingly fly in the face of all of those different protocols and kind of do what he wants to do when it comes to a virus that's claimed over 700,000 American lives, that part about it is unacceptable to me, and Roger Goodell and the Green Bay Packers organization have to step in and do something about it.
Chris Canty of Canty and Golick Jr. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray says he believes he should be ready to play Sunday against the 49ers despite an ankle issue. NHL Penguins captain Sidney Crosby tests positive for COVID.
We're back on Thursday, and it's week 9 in the NFL. So we've got a big week of games with playoff implications. We'll look ahead to Rodgers, Mahomes, and Baker versus Burrow. That's Thursday morning on Keyshawn, Jake, Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Let's hump, everybody.
It's hump day.
I am standing on a table skirt.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Sopping up a gallon of water that I spilled out of my broken jug when I flung a chair in a fit of frustrated rage, breaking a little end table, sending everything crashing down, and wrecking this show. Some might argue that just me showing up wrecked the show.
It's hump day.
I have a great wife.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
She just texted me, Muse. She's already replaced my water bottle.
It's hump day.
That was really quick.
How about that? Well, I yelled, Erica, I need a new water bottle. You heard me yell it, didn't you?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I did.
Arriving Friday, and she sent me a screenshot. Arriving Friday. It's time for a new one anyway. $15.38 for that water bottle. It's a gallon.
It's hump day.
And it has time stamps on it. So, like, you know, by a certain time of day, by 7 a.m., 9 a.m., you know how much water you should have drank by that time.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Scott Shanle was here last hour. Pete Fiutak in 10 minutes.
It's hump day.
Michael Thomas done for the year.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Cordell Flott's not going to play against Bama. All right. Muse, call Erica real quick, please. Just real quick. Just call her real quick. I want to talk to her real quick. We're going to call. Y'all normally hear Erica just on Fridays for the college football pick'em segment. We can hear the ringtone. That's fine. It's fine. Just go. Yeah. She knows. She'll see it's us calling, and she'll just answer. Oh, Erica.
Are you sure?
Hmm?
You sure? She's just gonna.
Unless you dial the wrong number.
I didn't dial the wrong number. Dial the number you gave me.
I mean, there's no reason you should have got. Are you sure?
Yeah, we can try again.
Okay. You need to dial 9 to get out or something.
No.
Shouldn't have a busy signal. There we go.
Better.
There was no reason to have a busy signal. Hang on.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
Are you watching the show?
Not right now. I mean, I'm in the back.
But you were. That's how you need to buy me a water bottle?
Well, you said, yeah, I was venting Drew's belly. Are you on air? Are you on right now?
Yeah, you're on air.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I was venting Drew's belly, and I heard you say, Erica, I need a new water bottle.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, though.
Oh, you weren't watching?
No.
Okay.
If there was anger and rage, I'm glad I was not watching.
Yeah, no.
Why'd you get so mad?
Well, the chair popped up, and then I couldn't find a picture of the original Popeyes, and, it just devolved from there. And then I threw the chair, and it hit the side of the wall, and it knocked the end table over, and my water bottle fell and exploded. And
Are you going to get fired?
No, they're not going to fire me. They're going to fire me. It's not going to be for that, Eric. It'll be for something else. I mean, but then again, like the head coach at LSU hates me. They haven't fired me over the last 5 years. So whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but you didn't destroy their stuff.
I didn't destroy anything. I destroyed my own water bottle. It's just water on the floor. I got a big table skirt. I'm standing on a giant table skirt right now, Erica, sopping all of this up.
Well, how'd the water bottle break?
I don't because it fell. I mean, it fell off the table onto the ground, and apparently it just maybe it's flimsily made, and that giant plastic bottom just popped right off, and it just
okay. Well,
went
you
kaput.
have a new one coming on Friday.
Well,
Went to Amazon, recent orders, searched water jugs, popped
Okay.
up,
Great, thank you.
hit reorder.
Awesome, thank
Just like that.
Okay, thank you.
You called me for this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good. All right.
All right. Well, we'll see you later.
Have a great afternoon.
Yep. I'll see you.
Don't be angry when you come home.
No, I won't. I mean, I'm already over it.
You're over it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Well, that's Erica. She's like, so there's rage involved. Yeah. A little temperament.
When you explain why, it's just.
Well, I know. That's the point. It never makes sense.
There's this picture of a Popeyes I couldn't find. Look at how absurd that is.
Popeyes, and the chair popped up. Which, by the way, 1 million people have sent me that picture. Thank you to everyone, all the million of you who I can't name by name, for sending the picture. Muso, someone even sent me. Who was it? It was Greg Lane. Shout out. Found on YouTube, an old Popeyes commercial, like an old Popeyes TV ad, and in the old Popeyes TV ad, they have a picture of the original Popeyes. Boom, there it is.
I like
a
it.
1981 Popeyes commercial. There it is right there, Muse. The red top, or maybe orangish red, the black stone building, that's the original Popeyes right there, Muse.
I think they should go back to it. I like it. I think it's a good look.
Vintage always comes back, doesn't it?
It does,
I mean,
man.
Look at uniforms. Like in the NFL, you go through or any league, you always go back to the vintage thing. It always plays again. Everything's my grandfather's told me that. Guy hasn't thrown away. He's 90 years old, 89. Hadn't thrown away a piece of clothing his whole life. He's just up in his attic. He just got like rows of suits and sport coats from the 70s. He's like, it always comes back. He's got like a bajillion neckties. You want a wide necktie from like 1973? Gramps has got a couple dozen, I guarantee.
You never know when you might need it.
Because you never know when you might need it again. You know when you might need a wide receiver if you're the Saints right now, because they have none of them. Well, they have some by position anyway. On the roster, they have some wide receivers, but they will not have Michael Thomas this year. Michael Thomas on social media earlier today posted that he had a setback from his recovery, that he is going to miss the entire season. The very interesting part of Sean Payton's comments today are the contrast to what they were back in June when we first learned that Michael Thomas was going to have surgery. Sean Payton was miffed. He was displeased. He was very upset back in June whenever they found out that Michael Thomas was going to have surgery. Was going to miss the start of the season. This Sean Payton, however, was more supportive of Michael Thomas.
I think it's accurate to say that there was a setback, and it wasn't anything of his. He's working his tail off, and the setback had more to do with the procedure he had initially that was just done. And as they went through the scans, there's a chance that he may have to have another procedure done. And so I can't call in and have Dr. Anderson get on the call with us and explain to you, but Michael is working his tail off to get healthy and become available. And I think that this isn't anything he can control. And so this has more to do with the tightrope procedure. And what that is a procedure that strengthens the ankle after, you've had a significant injury to that area. So the setback is really surgically related, and we'll kind of go from there.
We did see the first injury report of the week on Wednesday. A couple of them are obvious. Jameis Winston obviously did not practice. He is out for the year. There are some new additions to the injury report. Malcolm Jenkins did not practice. He was listed with a knee injury. Carl Granderson did not practice, listed with a shoulder injury. Ty Montgomery, who had a reception in Sunday's win, did not practice with a hamstring injury. Those listed as limited, Dwayne Washington, Marshawn Lattimore, Teron Armstead, Lattimore was full. Dwayne Washington, Teron Armstead, Peyton Turner, and Taysom Hill. So that has to be the very good news. Now, we will see. That may just be veteran days off for guys like Jenkins and Granderson and Montgomery. We'll see. But the very good news, which has to be considered good news, both Peyton Turner and Taysom Hill back at practice. Limited, but back at practice. The fact that they're on the field this early in the week does suggest that if they continue making progress, that they'll be able to play on Sunday. You would be concerned if they still weren't practicing as of right now. And as good as that Saints defense has been, to think that they really haven't gotten any contribution to speak of from their first-round draft pick in Peyton Turner. And that may change this weekend. Now, Sean Payton was asked about the quarterback position for this Sunday and what the plan is at quarterback, and he was really non-committal.
Sean, can you share anything on your plans for the QB?
No, I can't share anything relative. Nope.
Yep. What are you talking about, man? I can't share anything relative to the quarterbacks. Okay. Keep them guessing. Okay, it's after further review. That's where things stand with the Saints right now as they prepare to play Atlanta. On the Falcons injury report, of course, Calvin Ridley continues to be out because of a personal matter. So he's taking time for his mental health. Jonathan Bullard did not practice. He's been dealing with a concussion. Then Russell Gage dealing with that groin injury. He is limited. So targets for Matt Ryan continue to be sparse outside at the receiver position. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Pete Fiutak, College Football News, will join us next.
AFR.
If you're thinking about selling your home, buying or selling, as a matter of fact, commercial or residential, call Darren James. Among the top 1% of realtors in America. The Wall Street Journal puts out its Real Trends list every year, which lists the top realtors in the country based on volume. This is actual objective data. Darren James, among the top 1% of realtors in the country. Why in the world would you call anyone other than the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? Listen, some people like to think they could do it themselves. You do the for sale by owner thing. Do you realize 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor? Maybe it's you don't have time for all the showings. Maybe it's you're not exactly sure how to expertly price your home. That's why you got to trust Darren James. Save yourself time, save yourself money, get your home sold, get on with your life. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Thanks, you're ready. Yardbirds up. Veggies in the window.
Barbecue guys, born to grill.
Pops, how many steaks you want?
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Pete Fiutak, college football news. Good enough to jump aboard with us here. Talk a little SEC as we head into the weekend. Pete, great to have you, man. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing?
Doing really well, man. We appreciate you for making time today. Pete's on Twitter at Pete Fiutak. Give him a follow. Look, man, it's LSU Alabama week, and normally that's a big deal around here. This week, not so much, man. I think everyone sort of fears the inevitable with Alabama as a 4-touchdown favorite. Can you come up with any scenario, barring like forfeiture, where LSU could win this game?
Can they run like they did against Florida?
Nope.
I mean, it was a one-off. I mean, they haven't been able to run well against anybody else. But if they can, look, Florida was able to do it against Bama. And as good as Bama is, because it's great, obviously, and it's been able to destroy the Mississippi States of the world, they got pushed by Florida, and obviously they lost to Texas A&M on a near-perfect day. And we've seen Max Johnson get hot before in big games, or mostly Florida last year. So the only way this could work is maybe it's a loose and free LSU team that really doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on at this point. So it just kind of goes out there, runs well, and they've got enough NFL guys where maybe they win in a weird, wild shootout.
Damn you, Pete. You're giving people hope. And as Red said in the Shawshank Redemption.
You asked the question. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But you asked me to paint the picture, and that's as much as I can do.
Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can kill a man.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm not going to ask you about Georgia, Missouri, because that's, I think, a foregone conclusion. I will be interested to see what happens when Georgia and Bama seemingly inevitably line up in Atlanta. But there is going to be an interesting one in Oxford at 11 a.m., with Hugh Freeze going back to Oxford. Liberty at Ole Miss, Malik Willis, who many think might be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft. I haven't gotten to see this Liberty team, Pete. I know you watch everybody, but Ole Miss is a hobbled team. Are they in trouble this weekend potentially with Liberty coming in?
Only because they are a hobbled team and the focus might not be there and the game doesn't really matter. So it matters, of course, because it's Liberty and there's going to be the Hugh Freeze factor and they're going to be jacked for this. This isn't the same team as last year, and Liberty's kind of fallen under the 2020 issue as we've seen this across the board, whether it's Indiana, Iowa State, Coastal Carolina, who else am I missing? There's Ball State. I mean, San Jose State. These teams, Northwestern, these teams that were able to rise up last year when everything was weird and off kilter, are all of a sudden kind of coming back down to reality. And Liberty got everyone back. They do have a great quarterback in Willis who could do a little bit of everything, but they're not quite running like they're supposed to. They got shocked by Syracuse and then by ULM. But they've got enough talent there where they can make this interesting, and the Ole Miss defense isn't that great, so it could be okay. I don't think if Ole Miss can maintain any semblance of focus here, they should be able to pull this off.
He's on Twitter at Pete Fiutak, College Football News. The game of the day, certainly in the SEC, and one of the games of the day nationally, has newfound meaning, Pete, because if Auburn wins out, they win the West, despite being 6-2 right now, with just the one conference. It's crazy, but they got to go to College Station. A&M also 6-2. They win out. They win the West because they have the head-to-head over. Well, they'll need help. They'll need Bama to lose again. But
they need one more Bama win.
They need a Bama loss. But what do you make of it? Auburn, Texas A&M from College Station.
Yeah, there's two ways to kind of look at this if you're Auburn. You look ahead and you say, the schedule looks daunting. Oh, Texas A&M, obviously still Alabama. But that's actually a plus. I mean, if your goal is to make the college football playoff, there's never been a two-loss team that's gotten in. And Auburn would have done it, was it 3 years ago, if they had beaten Georgia in the SEC championship. This year, if you look at what they got ahead, if they beat A&M, they beat Alabama, they beat Georgia, they're going to be in. And so if you're Auburn, you want this game. You want this tough matchup. So Auburn's just playing well. A&M's been playing tough. Can you stop what Texas A&M's going to want to do running? I kind of think that Auburn's playing just well enough defensively and that they're going to be able to stop what A&M wants to do on the ground. So I'm filibustering here, basically. It's a dead-even game, but I will pick sheepishly. I'll pick Auburn because Phoenix is just playing that well right now.
That game is in College Station. That would be massive if Auburn could keep this roll going right now. And how about Mississippi State, man? Like Mississippi State, they are the weirdest team. But they beat Kentucky. They've beaten Texas A&M. They're 5-3. Arkansas is 5-3. That game's up in Fayetteville. Arkansas hit their skid. Now they seem to they got a week off and they got to play Pine Bluff. But I mean, what gives in this ball game Saturday in Fayetteville?
Tempo. And it is all about, Mississippi State will throw for 344 yards because that's what it does, and it will gain 350 yards of total offense. I mean, there's no running game.
Right.
So you know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to dink and duck. There's going to be no downfield passing. But Will Rogers was razor sharp against Kentucky. If he can kind of keep doing that, and there were a few more downfield plays in that win, too, that usually, he's completing a ton of passes and they go 4 yards. But that game, they were able to do a little bit more, and he was just that good. The problem is, what Mississippi State does is it's great at being able to control the tempo, and I believe they're number one in the SEC in time of possession. Arkansas has no problem with that. They're going to be more than happy to grind this down and make this kind of shorten the game kind of game. I kind of like Arkansas to come bouncing back from a rough stretch, like you said, but it was a rough stretch against three great teams. I think it's going to be way close, but I think the running game and the balance of Arkansas is going to be enough to pull this off.
Now, Arkansas is a 5-point favorite at home up there in Fayetteville. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. There's two night games in the SEC. Pete Fiutak is our guest on Twitter at Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. From Lexington, Kentucky's looking for a bounce back, and they host Tennessee. This is a pick'em with the sports books. Yeah. And it's so fascinating because you want to talk about contrasting styles. This is it. So which do you favor stylistically? Is it Tennessee's tempo? Is it Kentucky's ground and pound?
Yeah, it's what's fun about this is it's hard to figure out Kentucky because they don't fit the narrative. Because a team that does keep the score close and is great at making the game shortened and grind it out, they don't control the time of possession battle ever. Usually those teams are the ones that have the ball for 36 minutes, and that's just not really what they do. So the thing about this, though, is can you run on Tennessee? Because Tennessee is going to just match the time of possession battle. They'll give Kentucky that advantage because they just don't care because they go so fast. But Tennessee's run defense has been great. They've been great at holding down good running backs. But when they give up 100 yards or more, they have a problem. When they give up 200 yards, they lose. Kentucky's got to get that running game going. So if you're going to think that the Wildcats can run it, I think they win. With that said, I'm a huge fan of the vastly underappreciated Hendon Hooker, and I like what he's doing with this Tennessee offense. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
17 touchdowns for Hendon Hooker on the season. That's, of course, coming off the bench, having not started the season. One more for you, Pete, and it's one that you better believe Dan Mullen's got to get. 4-4 Florida against 4-4 South Carolina. It has been a grind for Florida. I mean, inexplicably, the losses to programs like LSU, the loss to Kentucky is one they obviously should have had. Now they got to go on the road to South Carolina as an 18-point favorite. Surely, Pete, this is one that Florida just takes to the house.
Wow, 4-4. The 4-4 is half full. The 4-4 is half empty. I mean, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yay! This is great. What a strong first year, and for Florida, it's a disaster. You're right. There's no excuse. But South Carolina's got enough of a defense that they can at least make it somewhat interesting. I'm still waiting for. That's the crazy part about the South Carolina 4-4. They've got a ton of talent at running back. They're just not doing anything. I mean, they have not been able to run the ball a lick. Florida's a team you can run the ball on, though. So I would not be shocked if South Carolina makes this somewhat close for a while, but you're right. Florida's just got to just run the second half. There's no excuse for this.
Pete Fiutak, College Football News. Hey, Pete, before you go, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least get a thought or a reaction on the first college football playoff rankings that came out last night. Everyone's talking about Cincinnati, but what was the biggest storyline? What stood up most to you?
Well, it ties into Cincinnati because the biggest storyline, they just flat out said it, the group of 5 schedules aren't good enough. UTSA doesn't get in. 2 Mountain West gets in. American Athletic Conference in outside of Cincinnati. And for all the screaming and yelling and, oh, my gosh, Cincinnati's at 6, the disrespect and the corrupt committee, this is a team with 1 win. It's a great win. They beat Notre Dame on the road, but that's it. They only have 1 other win over a team with a winning schedule, and that's a UCF squad that's a shadow of its former self without Dylan Gabriel. And the chair committee, Gary Bartas, just straight up said they didn't play well enough against a bad Tulane team with a third-string freshman quarterback and a bad Navy team that at the time had only 1 win. And they've got to get some style points here. They've got to look a whole lot better. And for all the screaming and yelling, to be where they are, 6 ahead of 9-0 Oklahoma, ahead of unbeaten Wake Forest, and ahead of a whole slew of teams with a lot more good wins, that's a whole lot of respect given to a team with a resume like it has. So at the end of the day, just remember, win your Power 5 conference championship, and you're going to get in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just had church, courtesy of Pete Fiutak. Cincinnati, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Pete, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for the time as always, man. Be well.
You have a good one.
Be well. Pete Fiutak, College Football News. He's on Twitter at Pete Fiutak. I said the same thing, but y'all know how I feel about it. So it's going to come across as, man, Matt hates Group of 5. He hates Cincinnati. Excuse me. He hates Cincinnati, which I do. But listen to Pete. Said the same thing. He's right. You have one win of consequence, and you're ranked 6th. You're ahead of undefeated Oklahoma. That's plenty of respect. You sure as hell ain't getting into the playoff with that resume. Play somebody, clowns, chumps. You don't just get to walk through the layup line all the way to the playoff. Kick rocks, losers. Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. It's crystal clear. Anybody could see that, especially if you went to the Williamson Eye Center like I did. Maybe that's why I can see it so crystal clearly, that Cincinnati's a fraudulent playoff wannabe. Because I see 2015, courtesy of Dr. Blake Williamson, the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEYE.com. If it's LASIK, if it's PRK, if it's at lens replacement, the Williamson Eye Center, they have a refractive issue for anyone, a refractive option, no matter your issue, so you can see without contacts or glasses. It's the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020 or WilliamsonEYE.com. Without further ado, glad you're with us here. Otter is going to be with us in about 15 minutes. See what Otter's betting on tonight. Otter did give you the Astros last night. That one blew up in his face. You know who else it blew up on is Mattress Mack. Cost him a pretty penny. We'll delve into that a little bit when we come back. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, if you're looking for dinner plans tonight, Ichiban is a great option always. Essen near Perkins. Voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. So make tonight an Ichiban night, award-winning sushi and hibachi, an amazing dining experience. Whether you belly up to the bar, you have that glass of wine, the sake served hot or cold. Maybe you dine at the sushi bar where the chefs are rolling all of the sushi. Maybe you want hibachi for a fun, entertaining experience or a elegant, romantic dinner for a date. Ichiban is a great option. And from our friends at Ichiban, their latest concept is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street, right there in the heart of Mid-City in Electric Depot. That's where you'll find Bo-Ru. It is fast, it is affordable, it is casual, it is decadent. It is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Try something new. Try Bo-Ru Ramen.
Right now, at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get a new Highlander with 1.9% financing for 72 months, or we have several new Tundras in stock with the 5.7 V8 engine. So come see us today for your new Toyota. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines, fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, They have, and Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Smith comes set of the tomahawk. 0-2 on the way. Chopper out to Dansby. Dansby throws to first base. Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions. The Atlanta Braves have won the 2021 World Series in 6 games over the Houston Astros.
That's how it sounded. Braves Radio Network. Atlanta closes out Houston in Game 6. Feel for Bregman and the guys. Of course, they won it back in 2017. They've been back to the World Series twice, losing to the Nationals in 2019. And then, of course, losing to the Braves here in 6 games. A couple teams that played really well, got hot, and congratulations to the Atlanta Braves, their first title since 1995. Of course, the first title for Freddie Freeman as well, who's been through a lot in that organization. Here's what Freddie had to say after the game.
I don't know, Ken. I'm at lost for words. This is it. This is everything you worked for. I mean, we're in November right now, and we've been doing this since February, and we've had so many ups and downs this year. And for us to be world champions, Ken, that is awesome to hear.
You know who I kind of felt for last night, seriously, is our friend Kelsey Wingert, who Kelsey is, I mean, she's a phenomenal broadcaster, and she was the Braves field reporter for the Braves television for several years, and she's dynamic and awesome at what she does. And like a couple of seasons ago, they replaced her, and there was this like massive pushback from Braves fans. Anyway, you could tell Kelsey's just very still attached to the team and knows a lot of those players from her days covering it. Kelsey went to LSU and is a Baton Rouge. Well, she went to LSU, but she was still tweeting about the game last night. You could tell she was so invested. So I feel good for like all Braves fans. I know Hester's a Braves fan, Paulie's a Braves fan. Kelsey covered the team. So everyone who my buddy Casey McKenzie, who's a Braves fan. I mean, everybody who, I guess, a lot of people in this area grew up watching the Braves on Turner. And, if you've waited a long time to see your team win, it's really cool. I mean, it is. It's awesome when you see your team win a championship. LSU fans have gotten to experience that. Saints fans got to experience it in 2009, obviously, with the Super Bowl. And, I mean, it's an awesome thing when you get to experience it, especially in a pro sports level as well. So congrats to the Braves and to everybody who's pumped up about it. Paul O'Neill has not been able to stop talking all day about this. Paul's been a chatterbox. Right?
Talking my ear off.
Listen to him.
Each break.
I mean, listen to him. Maybe he's at a loss for words.
That's it.
Got it. There it is, Paul. Paul, pipe down, all right? I gave your team their kudos. I don't want to hear any more about it, all right? You've been talking all day about this.
Try to keep it down.
Yeah, thank you. This guy, insufferable, Muse. Someone on the text line said maybe you could sop up the water with one of Muse's special cigarettes. Would that sop it up pretty good?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. You can keep playing it off, Muse. We all know. Ed Ogeron was on the SEC Coaches Teleconference earlier today. He did say that Cordell Flott doubts that he will play in that ball game. But Ogeron, to give a little bit of good news, a couple of offensive players will be back for Saturday.
We had a very good practice yesterday. A lot of guys were back from injuries. Amani Goodwin was ready to play. Chason Hine was ready to play. So it looked like that we had a very spirited practice, ready to go for Alabama.
So Armani Goodwin gives you another dynamic runner. Of course, the freshman, the the flash and dash sort of running backs. Corey Kiner, who's a little bit of a stronger runner between the tackles. Armani Goodwin, sort of that more dynamic runner getting to the edge. And LSU's going to need every weapon at its disposal. And Jason Hines, that gives you another option on the interior, on the offensive line, another veteran presence there. Anthony Bradford had obviously been nicked up and isn't available. So if you're looking for a veteran guy there, Jason Hines can step in and likely start in this ballgame, which is certainly good to see. And Ogeron was also asked if they'll use Goodwin and then Trey Bradford, who we learned earlier this week. Trey Bradford not only eligible but healthy and will play this weekend against Alabama. How they might use them differently than the other backs.
Yes, yesterday was the first day with them, but we ran some specific plays with both of those guys. They look very good. They've got some springs. They got some fresh legs. There's some things that they do specific that we're going to run some specific plays with them, so it's going to help us.
And then Ogeron elaborated even further about stylistically the different skill sets that each of his backs has.
Well, they're good zone runners. They got patience. Kevin's done a great job. We run some gap plays. They know how to run them. Armani is really quick. He's elusive. He's got some quick feet. You make you miss in the hole. He can run inside, outside. Trey Bradford's got some good breakaway speed. He's a track guy, but he has good size. The outside runs with those guys are very, very favorable to some players like that because they can have breakaway speed. So each of them have different things, but Ty's our running back. We're going to need him to have the type of game that he had against Florida.
Ed Ogeron on the SC Coaches teleconference today, previewing the Alabama game this weekend. It's AFR. Of course, love telling you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Speaking of do business with someone you know, Monica in our office, I maybe didn't know that I did work with Hudco, but her roof was damaged in the storm in Ida, and she's had trouble getting a roofing company to come fix her roof. And so I had a coworker mention that to me today. Said, "You think you can help Monica?" Absolutely. Went and saw Monica. I was like, "Do you need help with your roof?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been having trouble getting anybody to come do the work." She already contacted her insurance company, had her scope of work paperwork. I said, "Monica, just email me your scope of work. We got this." Connected her with our construction manager, with our scheduler, guy Sam Hay in our office. Sam got in touch with Monica immediately. We will have her roof done inside of 2 weeks. So we have workers. We have materials. If you are in a holding pattern, if you can't get a hold of a roofing company, if you're down on the list, if you've had your insurance adjuster come out, you've got your scope of work paperwork, maybe you've even gotten a check from the insurance company, give us a call at Hudco. We can get the work done. We can get it done quickly, and we'll do it to an expert level standard. Do business with someone you know. HudcoRoofing.com. HudcoRoofing.com. Excuse me, got a little choked up there. All right, Otter's coming up. I do want to ask Otter about Mattress Mack. So we talk about this every year around the World Series or anytime anyone in Houston is in a big game. Mattress Mack has had some tough luck. He lost $1 million. I need water, but my water jug's gone. I burst it on the floor earlier. I'm learning this lesson the hard way. Mattress Mack lost $1 million with his bet on the Houston Cougars to win the men's basketball championship last April. He made a $2.4 million wager on Essential Quality to win the Kentucky Derby. He missed on that one. Well, he had also made a bet on the Astros to beat the Braves in the World Series, and he had wagered $3.25 million. The total was a combination bet placed in multiple sportsbook that would have paid him $22 million had the Astros won the World Series. One ticket would have been $22 million. The total of all his tickets would have paid out $35.6 million. But his hedge, of course, is that he runs a promotion at his store whereby if you spend $3,000 on furniture and the team wins the World Series, then you get a complete refund. Well, he would have used his winnings on the gambling side of things, on the sportsbook side of things, to pay back the refunds and then still would have had money left over. In all, Mattress Mack still came out in the black, selling about $25 million worth of mattresses. and he had placed bets between $6 and $8 million. So Mattress Mack still made a very nice profit on the Astros losing the World Series. It continues to be one of the more amazing promotions we see of any kind, and Mattress Mack has mastered it at this point. So good on him. LSU guy as well. His brother, we learned, played football at LSU in the 70s. His name is Jim McInvale. His brother is, I'm blanking right now, but his brother played football at LSU in the 70s with Charles Alexander when he was there. Blanket. Someone will text to me. Anyway, congrats to Mattress Mack on another great promotion. Congrats to the Braves on the World Series championship. All right, Otter Locks is next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. I always tell you about that seasonal maintenance. And if you're a member of their membership club, your annual seasonal maintenance, twice annual maintenance, is complimentary. And you always get top of the line or front of the line service. You get membership club discounts as well. It's so worth it. When you call River City's 1 Hour Air, ask about it. I'm a member of the membership club. You should be as well at River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. For nearly 40 years, River City's 1 Hour Air has served the greater Baton Rouge area. Go read the Google reviews, and you'll understand why they've been around for 40 years. More than twice as many 5-star Google reviews as the next closest competitor. That's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are now open for business and are ready to serve our customers with disaster relief employee pricing off I-10 in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crews at Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram are going to do right by you.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet Dine-In, Carry-Out, or Delivery, Uber Eats, DoorDash. Pluckers, you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Clark Crane Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in St. Francisville. Because a great deal is worth the short drive to Clark Crane.
All right, we welcome the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Yacht Father himself, Jimmy Yacht. Otter, how are you?
You see that fat ref who couldn't spot the ball, cost us 7 for Toledo right before half?
No, I was watching stuff that matters.
I got you. Well, lose by 3, 7 would have helped. I mean, we hit the dog. Match and parlay, 3-teamer.
How about it?
I don't know. No, we fell.
Well, I get it that you fell short on it, but getting the underdog there with Ohio is impressive. They were 1-7 on the year.
They were due. Is
it Thursday yet, Otter? I'm ready for some Colucci! I told Muse I'm betting half my net worth on Colucci's pick tomorrow. Whatever it is, I'm going with it.
Well, who knows what that little guy is going to have, but we certainly anticipate he is so good in hockey. And I can't get into this NBA just yet, but I'll tell you what. I think because they had a short off season, and then the season went late this year, and they decided to still start in mid-October. Everybody just took off. It was like the entire league had a Ben Simmons off season. Didn't shoot a ball at all. And so, the shooting is really down. The officiating, they're letting them play. They're not giving up the James Harden when you lean in and he gets his 2 free throws by initiating contact. The unders are unbelievable in NBA. So just a note there, if you're looking to delve into something now that we don't have any Major League Baseball postseason. But we do have matching 2 more games tonight. In matching, start off with Northern Illinois and Kent State. Michigan State's hot, huh? Well, they got a Michigan State transfer, Rocky Lombardi, the quarterback for Northern Illinois, and has them undefeated in match play. Dog tonight on the road against Kent State, seeing 3s and 3.5s. And so some people think the smart play is on Kent State, but Northern Illinois catching points, I mean, why not?
Okay.
We're going to lean toward the Huskies in that one. Remember the Chippewas came to Tiger Stadium this year? Remember them? Yes, indeed.
The old Shark Humper got him, yeah.
Wait, what's that?
The old Shark Humper. Jim McElwain, the Shark Humper.
It took me a little while to put Shark Humper. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Shark Humper.
Got it. Jim McElwain, Yellow Teeth, the former Florida coach.
Yes.
They got what they deserved, and it should have been worse. That guy.
I mean, bro, you can get over-the-counter gel that's going to help those teeth. Please, that little cheese. They quit helping Shark. But anyway, he's going against Western Michigan, the Broncos. Broncos are loaded, man. The only 2 losses, they outgained their opponents. They were combined -6 turnovers in that game, so a little circumstantial. Keep in mind, they went to Heinz Field and beat Pitt earlier this year. They also beat Buffalo. Western Michigan, although they don't control their own destiny for the Mack, maybe none of the top, they may just take names and kick a little rear end. Kick a little sharp rear end there. We'll take Western Michigan, the Broncos over the Chippewas. Minus the 8.5 and 9 compared to where you shop.
You're gonna lay the points. I kind of like it, Otter. A little aggressive. I think I'm with you on both of them tonight, Otter. I'm gonna check with my guy Stephen Miller. He's the king of the Maction. But if he's going with that, then you and I, man, we're in on it tonight. I think so.
Who did he have last night?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I was watching the World Series. I didn't care about Maction. But tonight, it's Otter. It's this or watch the Pelicans and the Kings, and I'm not doing that.
No, the season's over. The season's over before it starts. I mean, Zion's nursing an injury. This just in. I mean, it's just everything. Well, that was a tough beat if you had the 11.5 with them last night.
Yeah, I did.
Close game the whole way, and it's just all 112 at the end. But who's paying attention, huh?
Not me. Not yet. Christmas Day, I'm in. Christmas Day with the Christmas uniforms, I'm in. I'm in with the NBA starting on Christmas. Right now,
Hey, Matt,
I can't do it.
Matt, we're going to break down the, with the college football playoff poll, the first poll last night. We're going to break down what the spreads will be if they were in the semifinals, but also talk about the biggest variance. So the team that is the highest with the weakest, the top 25 with the weakest, the biggest margin of point spread value. I'll give you a hint. That's Michigan State. Michigan State, there's 15 teams right now on a neutral field that would be favored over Michigan State. Vegas is not a believer in the Spartans. So slow down, Woody.
He's Jimmy Ott. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us here in Baton Rouge with the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. Thank you, Otter.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, we'll see. He's down at Snow's, by the way. If you want to go check out Jimmy tonight, have some dinner. Muse, what did you learn tonight?
I learned what the original Popeyes store looked like.
You're damn right you did. Paulie, what did you learn?
Cordell Flat, out versus Bama.
Yeah.
Matt, what did you learn?
Oh, I learned that there's a Michigan State transfer playing at Northern Illinois, and I also learned Scott Shanle thinks Drew Brees would come back and play for the Saints if they made that offer. Oh, let's go! Reunion time!
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Locations all over the United States of America. 29 locations in 11 different states. Calibration labs. They have ISO 17025 accreditation available. Go to the website. This is what I hear over and over again. When I talk to Joel McMullen over at Michelli, when I talk to a lot of their sales guys in the field, like former LSU baseball player Sean McMullen, man, they hear this all the time. So many clients, they call Michelli and they look at the website and they go, oh, I didn't realize you did that. It's a great resource for information. If it's calibration, if it's preventative maintenance, if it's weighing systems, installation, equipment, repair, inspection, certifications, if you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, and rent the products you use to weigh and measure. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Online, check them out at Michelli.com.
Vizzy, the first hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. Vizzy. Step up your seltzer game.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team